Hello, everyone. This is Denise Hansard. I'm your life architect and intuitive. And today I'm starting a new video series called Stories Worth Hearing. And this is my inaugural one. And what it really does is it helps I want to share those stories from people who have creation stories of how they got started, where they're going, they embody it no matter what it looks like, and they just go for it. And so today I have with me Anne Klein. And I love what you sent me. It's like she's a joyfully engaged co-creator, a creative expansion coach, a studio artist. She is everything. She's even the founder of Spirit River Coaching and Spirit River Environmental Spiritual Center. So,
Yeah.
Anne, thank you so much for coming on today.
It's my total pleasure. I'm so excited to always have anytime I have a conversation with you, but I'm very excited to be an honored guest in your very first chapter of your next offering. So thank you. What an honor.
Yes, thank you. And yes, it is the beginning. And you know what? That's how stories are. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so I'm going to start with you. Tell me, tell our readers, tell our listeners, I guess you could say, tell me a little bit about what you do and what inspired you to start doing this.
Boy, it's so hard to describe yourself in a couple of words. And what I do is I live my life to the fullest. That's the overarching thing that I do. And I love to share what I learn. I had a stint as a high school art teacher where I used art materials to help dig into the human spirit and help people find their giftedness. And then I could see them liberating themselves in the joy of knowing their personal power through their giftedness and their uniqueness. And I have been tailoring that towards adults. We know that there are a lot of adults who are doing what I did. I mean, I loved teaching, but I wanted to be a high-level creator as an artist. I never stopped being an artist, but people who loved me and my family wanted to make sure that I was taken care of. I had these different paradigms that I still get to work through around responsibility, money. A lot of people in every field make a lot of money, and a lot of people in every field don't make money. And we know it has more to do with your mindset and your focus. And when you have a mindset that you're going in a direction, you attract the elements. They show up and you see them. It's not that they weren't there. It's not that you created them out of thin air. It's that your attention to those things draws you to them. So I just love a chapter life. I'm engaged on a high level in so many things. Right now, I'm preserving land, and it's becoming this beautiful spiritual center. It's a spiritual corridor in Wisconsin that's amidst these sandstone cliffs, and a river runs through it. And it's a beautiful place where people who are in my coaching program will come for really interesting experiences that involve art, the environment, spirit, engaging with who they really are. One of the things that
Oh my gosh.
that I'm
cautious. Hold on. Yeah. I got to go back. Hold that thought. I ask a couple of questions because you hit a lot in that. So you started out as an art teacher with kids, so where you brought their beautiful gifts out of them and saw them light up. And I know that's your art behind you, and we're going to get to that, which is wonderful. And you've taken it to a different level because you understand the spirit within everybody and the gift that they have to bring. And guys, this is why I wanted to bring Anne on as my inaugural interview, I guess you could say, or speaker, because it is about the stories we love to hear, and it's worth hearing. And it's about that creation story that we have within us, with the gifts that we recognize and sometimes are too afraid to bring them out because of, and Anne, you alluded to it, what other people want for you.
And and some of that programming comes in really early. So, it's part of our initial software system, and we get to update it. We get to update it. So that we can walk our own way. So I started out as an artist right away. I was drawing, creating. And as I was totally supported until I got towards the point where I would select my career to go into college. And I had an older sister already out of grad school becoming a metalsmith and not making it right away. And she's very successful now. But it was at the entrance of her going into the art world. So my parents were pretty leery about me going in that direction. But so I decided agricultural engineering because I was interested in the environment. And at that time they didn't have environmental studies classes. So I thought it'd be closer to the earth. But by the time I went to school, I switched into my true love, which was art. And then my mom, wanting me to have a career, had me investigate the differences between the degrees, and there really wasn't. And I got this education degree. I love people though. And my dad was a teacher. My grandma was an artist on some level, doing primitive sorts of metals work. But I was always intrigued with creating. And I got to do both as a teacher. And so here I'm extending it. When I left my teaching career, I was yearning for something bigger, something more for myself.
Yeah, tell me about that, the yearning, because I think
Yeah,
that's what a
so
lot of women find themselves in, or men, it doesn't matter. And the
yes.
yearning to where you are. And I'm looking at the beautiful art behind you, which I know is yours.
Yeah, thank you. So I kind of got to the point where I really was curious about educating, and I mastered all these different ways of teaching. And I felt like I was getting to the point where my satisfaction with investigating that field was pretty wrapped up. I felt like I was starting to lose patience because I didn't have as many things to learn there. My spirit loves to learn. It was looking for more. And I wondered how I might do in business. I always had been curious, and people had said to me, I bet you could run a company. I transitioned into working for a small tech company that I've helped revamp, and I'm kind of COOing a small startup tech company. And it's satisfying. I'm trying something I never did, I wasn't trained for, but I have the skill sets for. So I've allowed myself to expand there. It's not where I see myself staying. It was an aptitude that I wanted to explore, and I've explored it, and I have been. And now my art and my teaching and my wanting to share is drawing me into this spiritual center and my coaching. I did environmental work for a long time, stewardship work where I ran nonprofits. I started a nonprofit. I did a variety of things around the environment and tree planting and education. And I finally decided to buy my own property and steward it. Instead of trying to get other people to do what I wanted,
Yes.
I would just make my own creation. And in that, the whole story of how it came to me, the story of what's happening with it is part of the creative process. And I guess I want to convey to people that art is a great way to look at the creative process, but we are all engaged in the creative process. We are all artists.
Yes.
And that's what I love. I love to help people realize and give them the license that they already were born with, and giving them back their license that they're high-level master creators.
Yeah. So I love that because you do physical art, which is behind you. Everybody take a look at that. It's beautiful, and they tell stories. And the art that others create is whatever they want it to come out of.
Whatever, it could be your family you created. It could be the environment in your home. It could be your corporate job and how you created a system of communicating. They never had it, that corporate job, till you got there. Yeah. It's all the different contributions that we're making that come from an idea. They come from us being in a space. And so what I really love coaching people on and getting people to think about is what are you constantly curious about? What are you wanting to investigate? And then what is in the way? What is it that's, if you haven't allowed yourself to do it, why not? And I'm constantly a student of it. So, I mean, we are ever expanding, right, Denise? We are constantly getting to another level. And I used to believe that if I was doing the right thing, it would be smooth. Yeah. But as I get to my higher levels, I realize that protective part of myself is going to be ruffling. It's going to be tapping me on the shoulder at the minimum, maybe doing this as I go to expand into another version of myself.
Yeah.
Because this is uncharted territory that when we're curious and we don't know all the answers, we get to expand. So we're entering uncharted territory. And it's a super exciting process. And it's scary for a lot of people. They quit.
Yes.
So people like us put our hand there and help people and take their hand and help them really allow themselves to do what they came here for.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, because I know for me, I've always had the yearning to do what I do today, but yet I spent 20 years in the corporate world until the universe kind of knocked on my door and said, we're kicking you out of there, babe. Go do what you got to do. You know?
Thank you, universe. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And there have been a moment or two when I think, God, can I continue this?
Yeah.
So tell me about that. If you had that moment where
I do have that.
yeah, tell us a little bit about that, and then kind of what inspires you to move forward.
I mean, early on, I just remember my invincibility, that I could do anything. And I'm not quite sure when I started to shift the way that I behave, to put a gap between what I believed I wanted to try and do and just starting to do it. Mm-hmm. But as I continue to go to higher levels, I get to engage with that. I think that well, for example, when I get to a point when I'm ready to start something exciting, there's initially that excitement. And I don't think about I think about how it feels, how it looks, how it's going to be, the things around me that are going to be happening when I do this particular thing. And then my conscious mind, my ego maybe, will say, I don't know if you can sustain that. I mean, if you get it started, can you sustain it? Well, what'll happen if that looks like a lot of work? Yeah. Are you ready for it? Can you stay in that level? Yeah, so what I do is I reattach myself.
Reattach. Okay. So tell me what you and I understand that, but what exactly does that mean? You reattach yourself.
Yeah. So sometimes I go all the way back to the many, many things I've done well. Good. And I think, how was I being? How was I engaging and thinking of myself when I was doing those things? And I remember how beautiful it felt and how confident. I also think ahead to where I'm going, because on some level, I've already created this full-fledged, expanded spiritual center with art studios, people helping. I've employed people. People are happy there. I feel incredible because it's pulled together all sorts of, I like a world and a life with everything. Mm-hmm. And this project has my art, it has my contribution, it has stewardship, it has environmentalism, it has kind of everything that I love wrapped into one big, beautiful box with a bow on top. So I think, oh my gosh, I am excited about where I'm going, how beautiful it feels. So I keep locking into that. Yeah. And when in doubt, I click into videos, I click into materials like you're creating. I click into an Abraham Hicks audio. I click into things that talk me through how normal it is to brush up against the part of yourself that's nervous and how to walk through that. Yeah. I don't sit around. I get assistance. I have a coach. I have coaches. I have a group of professional people that are already contributing like I am. And we balance each other. We take each other to a higher level. So I seek out tools. I don't sit and let that part of myself stop me. And if I did start to settle in on my couch with a blankie and start watching a series, I think I feel a little let down inside because I'm excited about where I'm going. Right now, every morning and every night, and if I'm caught up in traffic or my schedule shifts, I go into feeling the feelings of where I'm going. I'm really doing an experiment with living. A part of myself is living already over there. Perfect. And I am not okay with stifling my growth. To me, I came here to expand, explore, live, have an exciting lip-smacking life. So the worst thing I could do is not try it.
Yeah.
If I fail, I wouldn't really have failed because I will have put my full effort towards something that I received.
Yes.
And I guess if I could add, because there's so much to say,
I know.
so much to say. When you get these ideas, they're not flippant. They're not flippant things. They are gifts that came to you because you've been curious and asking. So a few years ago, I really started appreciating the information that I've been getting, that idea, that thought that I used to throw in a big pile behind me to just never be able to pull back out. So I now treat those with respect and appreciation. And Abraham Hicks said this: do you think your idea is the first step? Your idea is really when the thing you're thinking about is like 99% done.
Yeah.
That's when you get the idea.
Yes. You
Now,
already created it on the inside. You just have to
right.
pull it out of you.
You did enough
Yeah.
that now the clues are coming to you, and follow them now. To me, my advice would be, when you get an idea, it's ripe.
Yes.
It's ready. It's mature. It's there for you now. And do something with it.
Yes. Don't let it just, if you let it go, then you know what, that idea somebody else is going to pick up on, and then you're going to be going, oh my God, I thought of that. Why didn't I do it? You might look back and go, too bad. Regrets. So sad. So we're coming up. I always like to keep these kind of short because we could talk
Yes.
for hours, as you and
Yes,
I know.
we could.
So tell people, well, guys, I'm going to put her link and everything down at the bottom so she doesn't have to tell you that, because she's got a beautiful website. You can see her art behind her. She's told a few stories on that. I know she's going to do her own video to tell you the meaning behind some of those beautiful images back there.
Yes,
And
and
how she created.
I am on Instagram and for Spirit River Coaching and AnnMClein.com.
Yeah,
So
I'll put it
yeah, the
all
links
down.
are there. I'm available to connect with you, and I've left a little something for you.
Oh, perfect. See, you get a gift. Everybody gets a gift. All you have to do is take it. So, Ann, one last word, phrase, quote, whatever, of inspiration to share with everyone.
I don't want to start it with don't.
That may be it right there.
You are here for a reason, and you may look like other people or have commonalities with others, but there is only one you, and you are here to do something, and you know what it is. So do it.
Beautiful, Ann. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you
Thank
for the forum you're creating, and the
Yeah.
love and compassion and energy and creativity and curiosity you're generating around it. It's beautiful.
I love it. It lights up my soul. I cannot not do it, is what I say. So, everybody, thank you for listening in today for this first episode of Stories Worth Hearing, how bringing out the creation story embraces the beauty within you and just doing it what it is. Thank you. And we'll talk to you
Thank
later.
you.
Please like, share, and subscribe.